Hi and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to make a spread in this little mini journal that I've shared last week with you. And here is I have already 2 pages finished with a little tag. And today I'm going to make this spread. If you want to know how I made this journal, please check out the video from last week. There I have a tutorial for you. I'm going to use some of my flash paints to not prime the pages, but to add some more plain color. And I'm using little light pink just with a spatula because it matches the color on the patterned paper on the right side. It's a jelly print, and I just want to have some areas that are not with so many patterns. I feel that makes it easier to work on. I let the paint dry completely before I keep on working on that spread, and I want to use more acrylics on these pages. And I'm starting with a fluid acrylic from Deco Art Media. It's a yellowish green color. I don't have in mind which exact name it has. I just apply the paint with my fingers because I really love that messy way of working in these little grungy or chunky art journals. Next I'm going in with one of the fluid acrylics from De La Rowney. I just bought myself a complete selection. This is the burnt sienna. I really love their tiny bottles with the fine nib. And I love that you can refill them because I'm not a fan of these small bottles when you can't refill them. They are also quite expensive compared to a bigger bottle, but they are awesome if you don't need much paint or if you draw on location. I'm bringing in some white because I feel that this makes a spread more vibrant because of the contrast. And I think I usually never have a page where I have no white on it. I will let this layer of paint dry again, and then I will come back to create some texture with some of our mixed media stamps. To make sure that I get a good stamp impression, I am laying a piece of foam underneath the page because the book is quite thick and buckly, and that makes it easier to get a better stamp impression when I stamp directly on the page. For stamping I'm using StazOn ink because that works best over an acrylic surface as it dries almost immediately. I'm placing that foam piece onto the other side, and I'm going to use the same stamp images. These are from our Cough collection number 1. And again, I'm using just a black ink. I really like the contrast between the black and the colorful background. I'm going to stamp even more texture onto the background, and I'm using an olivey green ink for this one. And the stamp is these numbers from the Mix It Up #1 stamp set. I use that quite often as a background image. And this is also available in a smaller version on the Mixed Media Marks #1. What I also always like is using kind of a stamp with some writing that's a bit more small and gives a bit more detail. And I think that's always something that makes you look longer on the page, because you maybe want to explore what's going on the background. And this is also a ticket stamp, I believe, from the Mix It Up #1. But as always, I will link up all the stamp sets I've used in the video description. I decided to go in with some magenta fluid acrylics because I felt it was a bit boring, and I really like my decision. I think that matches the page perfectly. I'm also using some white splatters to make the page a bit more interesting and to make it even more vibrant. I feel the contrast of these white splatters makes it look a bit more special. I have searched for one of my little tags that I made for this journal, and I will have a video soon on my channel on how to make those. And I picked this one because it matches color-wise, and I'm going to adhere it with one of my handmade stickers. And I printed these with the jelly plate and then added some stamping on top, and I have a tutorial available on my YouTube channel. I will try to find it. It's quite an old one, and link it up either in the video description or in the info cards. And these stickers are really nice to use on mixed media artwork, and it's also fun to make them. It becomes quite addictive to create these stickers. And I'm adhering them to the back side of the tag. Well, I adhere one of them, and I will adhere this one to my page, and this gives me kind of a page that I can interact with, and I can flip that over. I feel that makes it a bit more interesting, and a bit more special. And as this journal is quite chunky and messy, I think these elements are perfect. I cut a sentiment that I've stamped with our mixed sentiments #1, and I embossed it in white onto black cardstock, and I'm adhering the words to the tag so they only show up if you fold that tag over. I also wanted to adhere a focal image on the right side of this double spread, and I am going to my prepared images that I have always ready to go, and I will search for one that I feel fits perfectly on this spread, and I decided to pick this leaf from the Sketchy Leaves. It's embossed onto a watercolor background. To make that tag look even more special, I'm adhering a piece of lace ribbon to its hole, and I feel that's quite nice. I'm going to adhere a little tab that I have also ready to go. I cut these tabs with dies from leftover collage papers because they are quite small, so you can use small pieces and cut those tabs, and then I keep them until I need them. And here I've just stamped that sewing border to it, so it looks a bit as if it was sewn onto my page when I adhere it. I'm using that Mix the Sentiment stamp to stamp a word onto the tab, and Then I'm going to adhere it with a glue stick. And that is my page for today. I hope you enjoyed this video and you are inspired. And I hope we will see us next time. Bye!